This is Hebron, the place Abraham buried his wife Sarah. Later, according to the Bible, he, his son Isaac, and grandson Jacob, and their wives were all buried here in the place now known as the Cave of the Patriarchs.
How old is this building? What is this building?
This building stands here 2,000 years. Abraham had purchased the whole field around and the cave some 4,000 years ago. Actually, we have discovered the cave. The cave is here.
Herod the Great, who constructed Jerusalem's second temple, also built a structure over the cave.
In the time of the Second Temple period, this structure was built here by the Jews to memorize and to build a place of coming and praying and being a part of this very, very long and special history.
1,200 years later, Muslim conquerors modified the structure by adding minarets. They now consider it the Al-Abrahami Mosque.
The shrine actually is 2 stories. The upper one is the place where people come and pray and enter under Muslim control. From the 13th century, Jews and Christians were not allowed in. They were denied access. They had to stand outside. Anyhow, today, thank God, it's open again.
Jews lived in the city until they were driven out in the 1929 riots. They returned after Israel regained control in 1967 during the Six-Day War. About 800 Jews now live in Hebron, surrounded by some 200,000 Arabs. Noam Arnon, a Jewish Israeli, has lived here more than 45 years.
The lower level contains the cave. Now, this level is closed.
Why?
The Muslim Waqf, which controls the place, do not permit any archaeological research.
Revered by Jews, Christians, and Muslims as a holy city, Hebron was the first capital of King David. But recently, the United Nations deemed it a Muslim holy site in danger.
With the archaeological digs, would that prove the existence of Israel going back these thousands of years, if that was unearthed?
In Hebron, everything that you find fits all the biblical sources. When you read in Genesis 23 about Abraham, how he purchased the whole field around and the trees, the cave is there, it's located right beneath the rocks there, which are the end of the field, and the cave itself was dated to the Middle Bronze Age, which is equal to the forefathers' era. In the cave we discovered vessels and pottery from the First Temple period. You know, the name Hebron in Hebrew is connection.
Connection?
Yes, Hebron. Lechaber is to connect. So in Hebron, everything connects. The sources, the archaeology, the tradition, the holiness, everything connects together.
Arnon took me into the massive structure and showed me what they call the Gate of Heaven.
What is written here in Hebrew, Me'arat HaMachpelah Petach Gan Eden, the Cave of Machpelah, according to ancient Jewish sources, is the gate of heaven. So now let's go. Let's go and see.
Let's go to heaven. Now we're into heaven.
Yes. Now, actually, part of the building today is closed for Jews. A part is open. We are in this part. Many people come to pray here from all the world, from all the religions. Today, they speak about Abrahamic religions. Well, Abraham is right here. This is the memorial of Abraham. Actually, the cave is located right beneath this memorial. And we have here 3 couples, Abraham and Sarah, Isaac and Rebecca, Jacob and Leah.
So the actual bones are down underneath here?
Yes, underneath.
How did you discover it?
Well, it was in the middle of the night, one of the last nights of the Jewish calendar. And there are special prayers, and people come here and blow the shofar and sing many songs. So there was a lot of noise, and we, covered by that noise, we got the tools to open the gates of heaven, like hammers, like chisels.
That was decades ago, and no one is allowed in the cave anymore.
There were some stairs leading to a dark and long tunnel. We have crawled through this tunnel. We took some stones from the floor, and then we discovered the cave. Actually, it's 2 caves. I found myself crawling amongst human bones. So it's really to touch the history, to touch the Bible.
Nearby is the main synagogue where Jews can pray. Today, the building is divided between synagogue and mosque. The Muslim religious authorities control the religious aspects of the entire place, while Israel maintains the security. A unique arrangement helps keep the peace.
As you can see here, Muslims can visit to the big hall. Jews can visit the blue part, which is about 1/4 of the whole complex. Christians are allowed to both sides. This is the situation here, 344 days a year. 10 days a year, Jews are allowed to the big hall, and other 10 days a year, the Muslims are allowed to this side, and then the Jews stand outside.
Arnan says the arrangements aren't ideal. He'd rather everyone have complete access all the time.
We ask the government to open it. They say, it's standing, don't touch it. And it's working, don't touch it. So this is how it's working.
Scott Ross for CBN at the Cave of the Patriarchs in Hebron.